One last thing I want us to think about, since we were talking about data validation, you may remember that we configured the port to be a knob so that it would give us the right kind of information. I want us to look at the particular edge case that we were dealing with a second ago. What if I come out here and I accidentally, on purpose, delete out the IP address? Now, when I go to use my code, it's broken. We actually should think about planning for situations like this. So in our particular situation, what we have is we have an empty string. Our IP address is empty. And we really shouldn't be surprised that if we pick up the phone and we dial no number, we're not going to get anywhere. And that's effectively what we've done here. We should, at least think about this, we should make our code begin to handle certain errors. So right here, let's actually write a conditional statement. And we'll write it like this. If controls dot text IP address dot string, we will use a new piece of syntax simply because we can. Tilde equals empty. Then,
how dare you insult Tilda Swinton like that? Tilde does not equal empty. Tilde is queen. There are no arguments against that.
Yes, she is the Ice Queen of Narnia. Long live the King Aslan.
Wow, okay. You got me on that one.
Okay. So what is this tilde equals thing? First of all, it simply is negation. It means not equal. So if double equals was the logical comparator which assesses equality, tilde equals is the logical comparator which assesses inequality. I'm shoehorning this in just so you can see it. Not equals is all we're saying here. So what does it mean if we don't have an empty string? If we don't have an empty string, it means this. It means func establish connection. It means that we have data that we can at least try with. So we're going to put it like this. Print func establish connection attempted with the following. And what did it attempt to connect with? It attempted to connect with controls.textIPaddress.string and controls.knobport.value. And in fact, we're going to move this line of code up into that piece of the decision tree. Now, else, what does it mean? It means that func establish connection had a problem. Namely, the IP address is blank. Please enter good IP info. Now, when we hit save, you can see in my script, in my debug, it tells me the IP address is blank. Please enter a good IP. So what we can see with our function here is that it's at least going to give us a clue as to what the problem is. When we restart our script, you'll be able to see that it starts and it immediately tells me that the IP address is blank, and it invites me to fix it. That's really handy. Now, of course, there's a lot more data validation that we could do. How much more of this error proofing should we put into this code? It really just depends. It depends on how close are you to the deployment of your code. If it's you and a team, then you probably can rely on training to let everybody know that you have to enter an IP address, otherwise it's going to break. If it's going to be further away from you, maybe it's in a plugin or something, then, well, maybe you need to do more error proofing. Some of you are going to be asking, should I validate octets? The answer is, you certainly could. But remember, you might also want to be able to put in host names. It depends on your context. It depends on your situation. But here's the thing to think about. Adding more error proofing to your code is a double-edged sword, and it really is a task of diminishing returns. The more problems you plan for, the more code you write, the more opportunity you have to actually introduce issues into your code. than solve issues in your code. But for us, our code is at least setting us up to move in a good direction of human-proofing our code. Because we all know, as soon as we try to human-proof our code, the world just gives us a better human that can break it. So, as I said, there's more you could do here, but we're going to stop right here because there's no end to how much more code we could shove in right there, but we're planting the idea. So if you want to write more, go for it, but this is where we're going to leave it for now because we got other things to cover in the class. But you should think about these things, and as we conclude the entire video here, play with your lights. It's so cool. They work. But with that, have a good time, take a break, make the lights work. We'll see you again in a few minutes.